many false prophets will arise and mislead many. Because lawlessness is increased, most people's love will grow cold. Somebody say love. That word alone tells me he's not talking to sinners. He's talking to people who are already saved. Why? Because sinners can't love the way he loves. That word is agape right there. They can't love that way. So Jesus has to be talking to people that have the Father's heart. Hear me? Now watch. He tells Christians, be careful, because when lawlessness increases, your love will grow cold. Well, what does that mean? Can I tell you what it means? When I say it, you're probably going to say, some of you maybe perhaps will say, oh, that's me. So I have to come down here and get in your face to do it. It's like, and I hear believers say this, and I know because I was like this. You turn on the news, and you see all the stupid stuff that's going on. And you get so mad. For example, in San Francisco, California, shoplifting is legal up to $999. You can walk in and loot the store up to $999, according to the Fox News story I was reading. And they showed videos, and the store people just watch them. They just can't. $9.98, $9.99. Any business owners in the house? What are you going to do if I come to your business and take $999? I don't want to. You don't have to say it. The face he made was enough. I said, "What would you do?" And he went. He was getting ready to. I'm not going to do it. I promise. But see, because of lawlessness. I'm not talking about you, but people come to me and they're like, man, I'm so mad at what such and such is doing, what President so-and-so is doing, whether it was Trump or Biden or Obama or who cares. They're mad. They're so angry. The country is so polarized and divided, and this side and this side. And if you associate with this side, you're not a believer. You can't be a believer and be blue. And well, you support the red man that did this and this and this, and so you can't be. And stop the division. You're more political than spiritual. Why? Because your love has grown cold. Can I tell you something by the Spirit? Donald Trump is not Lord. Hang on, I'm going to tell you something else about the Spirit. Joe Biden's not Lord. Hillary Clinton's not Lord. Barack Obama's not Lord. George Bush is not Lord. Jesus is Lord. Trump is not coming back to save your soul. Biden is not coming back to save. Vote how you want. But my King is coming back riding on with the clouds of heaven. I don't have time to be polarizing into, I've got to win people to Jesus. Vote how you feel the Lord's saying to vote. Okay. Just as a template, I tend to vote the lines of people that don't kill babies and they support Israel and they support prayer. There's my three. All right. Anyway, I'll just leave it there, and he that has ears to hear, let him hear. All right. In order for you to be awake and discern the signs of the times like Issachar, you must have eyes and ears for what's going on in the nation. But you can see what's going on in the nation without knowing the Word and still be clueless. You got to know the Word before you know the news. So I said you have to know the Word before you know the news. When I turn on the news, all I hear is Jesus talking from Matthew 24. I just showed you that. What I just showed you was that's a news outlet. Daily Wire is a news outlet. So I'm showing you these things. Now, hear me on this. Oh, it's so tense in the room, and I'm glad, Mike, where are you at? I'm glad you're back. Where's he at? I need Mike to be closer. All right. You hear phrases like this, And I say, okay, we're getting very close now. And you've heard this for a long time, but I don't know that I've ever heard a president say it. On March 22nd, 2022, Joe Biden stood behind a podium and he said, we must initiate a new world order. And we must unite the rest of the free world in doing it. If you want to know why people don't want America to be energy independent, I have to. I'm not, again, it's not political. What you're seeing is by the Spirit. The only way a one world government and a one world religion and a one world currency will take place is if every nation is on the same playing field. Right now, America is up here and everybody else is down here. The goal then is to get America down here. This stuff ain't happening on accident. And it's by, and God knows it's happening. And so the reason stuff like this is happening, revival, the reason there's 1,100 baptisms in a few months is because while many people have political agendas, God has one agenda: to get people ready for eternity. That's it. That's the only reason I bring this stuff up, is because I want you to know. Jesus talked about it, and preachers are scared to preach on it because of how many people might get up and leave the room. I'm not. I want to get as many of us ready to meet the bridegroom as possible. And just because you're part of a church body doesn't mean you're part of the bride. You can be part of the church body without being a part of the wedding party. You can be a part of the Republican Party without being a part of the bridal party. It's true. And it scares me that many of us worship a man-made system in a White House over a kingdom. Something's out of order. You say, Nick, why are you preaching this confrontational stuff? Well, revival's confrontational. And when I was in nursing school for a short time, one of the first things I learned was say you have a terminal illness and you come to see me and I run tests and I discover your illness. Let's say it's not terminal. Let's say we can help you, but there's a window, man. Like if I don't help you in this window, you're going to die. And out of fear of your reaction, I don't tell you. Out of fear of how you might respond to your illness, I don't tell you, because I don't have the heart to see you upset. He dies, they find out. I lose my license to practice medicine. It's over, I'm done. That's a very big violation. You cannot do that. Any medical people, you can't do that. Please know, I wish the same were true for churches. Because there are many people in the room that are sick, spiritually sick. And unless I give you truth, and I know you might not respond well. I've already seen some less than pleased responses. I cannot let that dictate what's in this book. This is not Nick's opinion. It's just what's in this book. And if I don't preach what's in this book, I might not be removed from a pulpit on earth, but I'll still stand before him. And I will answer for what I said to you. And I take that very, very, very seriously. And I've had preachers say to me, Nick, you better not preach that because you'll lose your following, man. You won't have that church call you back, for example. That church won't call you back if you preach that. Well, people will get upset if you say that. Well, Nick, you can't tell young people not to have sex. They're just going to do it. That was said to me as a youth pastor. And that's what's wrong with the church. You're sick. Some of you have stuff that needs cleansed out. And if I don't give you truth, you won't even know you're sick. Can I keep going? He says all these things will happen The gospel will be preached to the whole world as a testimony to all the nations. I'm so glad this church values preaching to other nations. That's why you have hundreds of churches that aren't even in this country. This is the gospel, preaching to all the nations as a testimony to the nations. And then the end will come. I don't think there's anything left to happen before Jesus comes back. I really don't. I think the prophecies that have been spoken have nearly been fulfilled. We're almost there. To you who are under heavy weight and duress in the spirit, man, you're almost there. Don't cave now. Young person, I know it's hard to follow Jesus at college. I know. I get it. I know it's hard to follow Jesus in high school. And I know they'll say stuff to you, man. I know they'll blister you for your faith in Jesus. I know they will. I know your coworkers will do it. I know. But you're almost there. You're almost there. Don't cave before the time. Only those who endure to the end will be saved. That Greek word can mean to cling to something and not let go. Cling to this until the end. I asked the question, only those who endure to the end will be saved. Endure what? All of this. Endure lawlessness. Endure church people offending you. It's going to be okay. They hurt your feelings. It'll be okay. Give them to the Lord. Make a list of people to give to the Lord if you have to. And give them to the Lord every day if you have to. It'll be okay. They're not worth missing the marriage supper of the Lamb. For he who began a good work will be faithful to complete it. I know that you can say that about churches and visions and ministries, but this, what I'm preaching tonight, is the end of the work. And he started it at the beginning of time. When the Spirit was hovering over the waters, he began the work. And it was still going on when Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were on the earth. And while King David was ruling Israel, the work was being completed. And while Jesus was walking on the earth ministering, it was being completed. And while Paul was performing miracles all throughout the nations, it was being completed. I said, he began a work at the beginning of the book. Will he not be faithful to complete it at the end of the book? You might say, well, God, why haven't you come yet? Have you forgotten about us? I'll tell you why, my friend. He's long-suffering. He's patient. He's more patient than I am. He's more patient than you are. He's waiting on people to come home. He's waiting on your son and daughter to come home. He's waiting on your church to wake up. He's going to be patient while you do, but you've got a little bit of time left, and he will complete the work. It's called the coming of the Lord. He's going to complete the work. It's called the 1,000-year reign of Christ after a 7-year tribulation. Understand that and say, God will be faithful.